Less than P data end equals 662 data start equals 81 greater than. It's been nearly 2 years since the disappearance, and ultimately the catastrophic implosion of OceanGate's Titan submersible. The world watched in stunned silence as news broke about the lost vessel, which had descended toward the Titanic's wreckage before losing contact just 90 minutes into the dive. On board were 5 passengers and a mere 40 hours of breathable air. The public's worst fears took over: claustrophobic terror, deep-sea doom, and the haunting possibility of a slow, helpless death. But what's even more horrifying is how preventable the tragedy might have been. Less than P data end equals 1223 data start equals 664 greater than. The man at the center of it all, Stockton Rush, wasn't some madman in the shadows. He was a pitchman, a visionary in his own mind, who said he'd always wanted to be an astronaut. With a Princeton aerospace engineering degree and early career in aviation, Rush eventually set his sights on the ocean floor. In 2009, he co-founded OceanGate, a company built to take private citizens to the Titanic in a sub of his own design. The result was Titan, a 5-person vessel with a carbon fiber hull that he claimed was cutting edge. The truth was, it was deeply flawed. Less than EP data end equals 1799. Data start equals 1225. Greater than. Documentaries by Netflix and Discovery are now pulling back the curtain on the hubris and oversight that led to disaster. The warning signs were there. Loud, constant popping noises from the hull during test dives, vocal concerns from engineers, red flags from experts like James Cameron, yet Rush ignored them all. He fired whistleblowers like David Lockridge, dismissed safety protocols, and told passengers the dive was safer than scuba diving. He used a modified Logitech game controller to pilot the craft. It sounds absurd, even comedic, until you remember people died. Less than P data end equals 2224 data start equals 1801 greater than. The documentaries show Rush's determination not as innovation, but as recklessness. He downplayed concerns and surrounded himself only with those who would echo his vision. Engineers like Tony Nissen were pushed out when they refused to get on board, literally. What emerged wasn't a marvel of engineering, but a high-risk gamble passed off as a deep-sea tourism miracle. And Rush took that gamble with other people's lives. Less than P data end equals 2573 data start equals 2226 greater than. The Titan, we now know, failed almost instantly. Its carbon fiber hull crumpling under pressure, the passengers killed in an instant. In some ways, that was the only mercy. The aftermath, though, leaves us with bitter questions. Why weren't regulations enforced? Why were warnings ignored? And how did one man's delusion lead to the deaths of 5? Less than P data end equals 317. O data is last node equals data is only node equals data start equals 2575 greater than. James Cameron later said it plainly. These guys broke the rules. It's that simple. But the deeper truth is even harder to accept. Stockton Rush didn't just break the rules, he rewrote them to fit his fantasy. He believed so strongly in a flawed machine that he went down with it, along with 4 innocent people, in the cold shadow of the Titanic. And now, in these documentaries and the forthcoming U.S. Coast Guard report, we are forced to relive how an avoidable tragedy became a cautionary tale, one where ambition outpaced accountability, and blind faith in innovation drowned common sense. Stay subscribed for more videos.